Hey everybody, this is Modern Refugee. What I want to discuss tonight with you guys is a really simple topic, maybe too simple for modern preparedness, what it is today with all the high-tech gear and all the modern stuff that we have. And what it is it's laundry and doing laundry by hand. And the reason I want to discuss this is the younger generation, most of them didn't grow up in some type of home that didn't have a washer and a dryer in it for laundry. I did grow up in a home where we didn't have a wash machine or a dryer. Until I was about 10 years old, my mom would actually gather up our laundry once a week, and we would go over to Grandma and Grandpa's on the farm, and we would do the laundry in the old wringer washer that they had. And I helped do that till I was about 10, 11 years old. And at that point, my mom went to Montgomery Ward, and she bought what we would call today a modern wash machine, but we never had a dryer. And when you think about it, if there's some major SHTF situation that happens, doing laundry is going to be kind of important because you might not have access to clothing like you do now. You can just, throw something out and go buy a new shirt or whatever. You might not have that. And if it's a really bad SHTF situation, you might have to do a heck of a lot more manual labor than what people are used to now, and that is very hard on clothes. And then if you can't clean those clothes yet on top of it, those clothes are just going to fall apart on you. And I don't hear anybody really talk about this kind of stuff in the prepper sphere out on YouTube, and that's why I wanted to do just sort of a dedicated video on this. When I was a little kid, I did laundry in a bucket sometimes. If we had to do some laundry or we needed I needed a certain pair of pants or something for school and it was dirty, I had to stand there with a plunger and a 5-gallon pail and I had to wash those clothes, because we just didn't go over to Grandma and Grandpa's every week or every day to do laundry. It was a once a week trip. It was a dedicated trip, and you need something before that. You had to find a way to get it done. And clothes in general, people don't think of clothes as a prep. You do like outerwear and stuff, people are out in the woods and that kind of thing. But, how many people say, you should have 10 pairs of dedicated work pants and 10 work shirts. And, people talk about spare socks and gloves and stuff, but just actual clothes, you're going to tear that stuff up. I tear up my clothes right now just doing normal, manual labor. But if it's SHTF in a grid down world or something, that stuff is going to take a beating. And I remember a lot of times you'd take a bar of homemade soap, you'd rub it on a spot, it'd go in a 5-gallon pail, and you would wash that stuff. But a dryer is something that we just never had. Mom and Dad finally did get a dryer after I moved out of the house and was out on my own, but we never had a dryer. So then that presents certain problems. We live in Michigan, and you really couldn't hang clothes out on the line. Well, you could, but most people didn't hang clothes out on the line in the wintertime. It was a sort of a middle end of May through maybe the 1st of October thing. So, you had about 5 months a year where you could go out and you could, hang your stuff outside. But then the rest of the time, people hung their stuff inside their homes, usually in a basement. And most of the old farmhouses had some type of drying rack for clothing in the basement. A lot of them were A-frame types that folded up. They had dowels and stuff that went through where people would set them out, and to dry their clothes, they would hang that stuff down in the basement. I wish I actually had some of those old ones to show you because some of them were actually really, really ingenious. But what we did here at our place is we just went to one of the secondhand stores and we just got a laundry rack, one of the ones with a bar across. Saved a few coat hangers when we bought clothes and stuff, so we have plenty of coat hangers and stuff here. So even if our wash machine or dryer doesn't work, we can put that stuff out. And that's another thing. When I hooked up our generator, one of the circuits that I dedicated on our transfer switch when I hooked up to our generator is our wash machine. Dryer, no, but wash machine, yes, because that just saves a ton of work, even if you have to, dump the water into the wash machine and, kind of do it manually if you would have to get the water separate. That's a heck of a lot easier than washing big loads of laundry in a 5-gallon pail. And I know that they do have some hand crank wash machines and stuff like that, or hand crank washers, but I just go with the old 5-gallon pail method. But like I said, some of those racks were really ingenious, and you never really hear anybody in in the prepping channels talk about maintaining your clothes. A lot of that stuff is just sort of out of sight, out of mind. I don't think people think about that. They think about their bags, and they think about their having their food storage, and having their get home or bug out vehicle or whatever. But those simple things like laundry, it just sort of gets forgotten in the mix. And one thing that my mom always had, that I always can remember hanging on the wash line, was some type of cloth bag. And this is one that was actually my mom's, and I saved it specifically for us here at our place. And it was always full of wooden clothespins. And those wooden clothespins, these belong to my mother, and I still have a whole bag of these, and we have them if we need to hang stuff outside in the summertime. And what I like using for a clothesline is actually paracord. I find paracord works really, really good. It's sort of mildew resistant and stuff. I've hung paracord clotheslines out for years, and they don't deteriorate. And I think it's an inexpensive way. I mean, you can buy actual clothesline rope and stuff, but some of that stuff is cotton, and it'll start to deteriorate after a while. But paracord works really, really good. And I just took it through a figure 9 carabiner, and I threw this in there. If I grab this bag, I can take it wherever. As long as I got 2 poles or 2 trees, I can hang up a clothesline, and I can dry laundry. Then all you need to do is cut yourself a pole, or cut yourself a stick, so you can have a little bit of support on your clothesline if you got like several pairs of jeans or something hanging on there. And pretty much just keep this down with basically all our other gear. And another little neat thing is a little S hook. You bend a hook like this, and then that hook goes through the handles of your cloth sack, and then you can just hang this on your clothesline, or you can hang it on the tree beside, and then you have your stuff right there if you're doing multiple loads of laundry on a nice hot dry day. And like I said, I want to just talk about these kind of old school ways of doing laundry, because it's an important thing and nobody really talks about that. But if you've never thought about, if you're getting into preparedness, or you're already into preparedness and you haven't thought about that, think about what you would do with laundry if you didn't have your wash machine and you didn't have your dryer, how you would handle, keeping your clothes clean and keeping them up and maintained if something bad did happen. But anyway, this is Modern Refugee. Appreciate all my subscribers out there. I hope you guys get a little information, a little entertainment out of my videos, and of course, always some ideas that you can apply to your own situation. Anyway, you guys have a good one.